Drip acclimation is the safest way to add new shrimp to your aquarium, and today we're going to discuss how and why we drip acclimate. Okay, so first things first, you just got home with your new shrimp from either the pet store or they got shipped to you from an online retailer, and the first step now is to inspect them while they're still in their bags or containers. So firstly, we check that they are all still alive, because most online retailers have a DOA policy where they either refund partially, fully, or replace any dead shrimp that you may have got. Then you also want to make certain that it's the correct type of shrimp that you ordered. And here we're not referring to grading, we're just referring to the type. A shrimp can lose quite a lot of color while in transit due to stress. This will come back in a few days after they're acclimated to your aquarium. And lastly, we just want to make certain that they are free of any parasite or illnesses before you add them to your aquarium. Now with the inspection done, we'll move over to the acclimation process. First off, you will add the bag or container to the aquarium where the shrimp are going to be housed in. If your shrimp arrived in breather bags, add the unopened bags into a normal aquarium bag and float that in your tank, because floating a breather bag stops the oxygen exchange between the bag and the air. And dependent on how long you float, this can cause damage, undue stress, or even death to your shrimps. Generally, temperature acclimation takes about 15 to 30 minutes. And after this period, we can move over to the next step. Before we can start the drip acclimation, you'll need a couple of supplies. The kit I usually use to do my drip acclimation consists of an Airline, a flow control valve, and a container for the shrimp. Add the control valve to the one end of the Airline. That part goes into the container, and the other end goes into your aquarium. You can now open the bags and pour out the contents into the container. Make sure that there is enough room left for about 2/3 of aquarium water that still needs to go into the container. At this stage, you can start a siphon by sucking on the end with the flow valve and slowly starting to drip water into the container. It should drip at approximately 1 drip per second, not any faster than that. The drip process is going to take about an hour or two to do it properly. A good indication to see that you're doing everything correctly is that the shrimp will remain calm during this process. The reason why we do drip acclimation on shrimp is to avoid any TDS or pH shock that the shrimp might experience, because your water conditions is different from the person that you bought it from. After the drip process has completed, you can now catch out the shrimp with a net and transfer them to your tank. Personally, what I like to do is to catch them out and place them in a hanger-on breeder box, because from here I can inspect them again and see that they don't carry any other illnesses or parasites before I move them into an existing colony or a newly set up aquarium. Now this part isn't an ad or anything like that, but if there's one piece of equipment that I can really endorse, it's a hang-on breeder box, regardless of the manufacturer or anything like that. It is something that I use daily, not only for catching and grading my shrimp, but also getting them ready for shipment and adding new shrimp to my tanks, but also weirdly enough to do my RO top-ups on my tanks and also to do water changes after the top-ups. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope from now on you'll do drip acclimation on your shrimps if you didn't previously. And with that, thanks, goodbye, keep on shrimping, and see you next week.